Hi beautiful people. So I want to start off this video by thanking my sponsor for this video, which is Pixie Cup. It is a menstrual cup company for women, and I am hugely supportive of them and what they are doing. It's a Christian company that has such a awesome mission, which is to make sure that women who do not have access to protection for their period can have menstrual cups, which is so awesome. So every time that someone buys a cup, one is given to a woman in need, which you might not know this, but there's a lot of women who in the world just can't access any kind of menstrual product at all. Whereas in America and other more developed countries, it's pretty easy to get access to protection for your period, but plenty of women around the world cannot, and they cannot go to school or work if they are on their period, which if you know anything about anatomy happens all the time for women, and that is just unacceptable. So I love what they're doing, and the best thing of all is that they care about like stewarding God's creation and not causing so much waste to go into landfills, which is what a lot of pads and tampons cause to happen. And my favorite part is on each cup there is a verse. It's Acts 20:35, which says, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." And just a reminder to every girl, every time they use one, that one cup went to someone in need when they bought that one. So in the description, there's going to be a link to a discount code. You can go to that and get 15% off with that. So I love them. They have the cutest packaging too ever, by the way. So anywho, it's funny that they were my sponsor for this because this was not all planned out. I did not like think about this, and I was just gonna be like, yeah, see, like, but I was so nervous to do that because I knew that people would be like super offended and like grossed out that I did a sponsor that would help people with their periods, because it's just like so many people have so many opinions about everything that I do and everything that I say, and I literally was like, Lord, what they're doing is so good and I have to talk about this. So what you think about me matters so much more than everybody else, right? Which is literally the purpose of this. So I want to talk all about the biggest thing I've learned since being a Christian YouTuber, because I've been on here a long time, and you may have noticed that my channel hit like 100,000, which is so wild because like, if you know me, I don't like when people look at me. I don't like attention, and like I hate when a lot of people are staring like in a circle or a group. Like I literally am always like, stop looking at me. My friends all know that about me, that I'm just very much like, I don't like that. But the thing is, like, God has been so good and like used me and these videos, like it's just been so wild to hear of how the Lord has used this channel and an imperfect person, like very imperfect person and very sinful human being, like for good. And like he uses me to teach others and hopefully point you to a Christ-centered, gospel-centered church and all of that. Like it's been so crazy, and I'm super thankful for all of you, and no glory and no credit. I do not want any of that at all. It all goes to God. But since being on here and having like all these people constantly telling me what they think about me and what I say and what I do, literally everything that I do, and nitpicking everything about myself, my appearance, my clothes, my makeup, my everything, I've learned the biggest thing in the entire world is that I bow to God, not to man. And this is something I've really learned from Paul Washer, who is just so unashamed of the gospel, so unashamed to preach and speak of hard doctrines and speak about Jesus and the cross and sin and like just tell it like it is. Like he is so awesome at that, and I really look up to him for that reason. And he was a huge part of me like influencing. He was one of many very influential people here on YouTube who just told it like it is, and then has inspired me to do the same. So I'm very grateful for him. And this whole idea of like bowing to God and not bowing to man, I give credit to him because that's just who he is, and that's just all that he does in his actions. Not that he's perfect, and that's not who I'm following Jesus, but he's been a really great role model for me in that. So this whole video, the biggest theme is I'm going to stand before God one day. God is my ultimate judge. Yes, there are earthly judges, and yes, it is biblical for people to call me out and to judge my actions and the things that I do, but that is not nearly as important as God and how he is my judge, and he is the ultimate authority. He is everything that I'm living for, and all that I do, I want to please him, right? So like I said, I've had people tell me so many things about me, and I mean literally I don't look at comments anymore. Basically YouTube to me is I'm praying about it and like thinking about it often and replying to people's mail that they send me and all these things like that. It's just a beautiful thing that I get to do that and like have relationships with people like that. But to me, I kind of put YouTube in a drawer or a box, and then kind of shut the drawer, shut the box up until my next video. And then I kind of interact with people just a little bit and then again put it away and stuff it away. Because if I looked at the comments that I used to, or like looked at them as much as I used to, I would be completely lost and like completely in a different place mentally, and just, I guess just my priorities would not be straight. Because when you look at the comments all the time and like I see people say like, you're so fat, you're so ugly, the way you live is so dumb, like she wouldn't even have sex with guys, like she's such a, I can't even say the words that people say, like I literally cannot say the disgusting and like rude things that people have said to me because it's like completely inappropriate. But the names people have called me, the things people have called me, the things people pick apart about every single thing that I do, and the responses that people have like made about me are so hurtful, disrespectful, crude, disgusting. Like I can't describe to you everything, and I don't want to, because that would be dwelling on all of that, which as a Christian, like Jesus said, like that's gonna happen to you. Like he said, people are gonna hate you because they first hated me. People are gonna try to kill you because they killed me. You know, like all of that's to be expected, and I know that, but that's what I'm saying is I can't dwell on those things, because if I did, then it would end up that I would try to please all the people out there, which is absolutely impossible. But by nature, I'm a people pleaser, and I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to step on any toes. But that line, like I said, of I'm here to please God, not man. I'm here to, you know, I bow to God, I don't bow to man. That's just completely freed me of what I say and what I do here. Like if you've noticed that I've been teaching a lot harder doctrines and like not as afraid to just speak the truth, that's because that line that I just said, I bow to God, not to man. I'm gonna stand before God one day, not man. So in every video that I'm making and my posts on Instagram and whatnot, it's like everything I'm striving to live for God and like please God. Ultimately, the most please God, not please man. I'm thinking, is this going to offend God? Is my action or what I'm saying gonna offend God, or is it gonna offend man? Is what I'm saying or what I'm doing gonna grieve God or grieve man? Because I care most about grieving God. And the list could go on and on and on. But ultimately it's I bow to God, not to man, period. And that's not to say like I'm here to stir up drama and offend all these people, because I bow to God, not to man. And so I can just offend everyone because I don't care about offending. No, like I'm not here to do that. But am I gonna offend you in living to only offend God and not care about nearly as much about what I'm doing? You know what I mean? Like it's gonna happen inevitably, because the gospel's offensive. It's saying to people like, you are a sinner, I am a sinner, and we need a savior, period. That's offensive to people, you know. And saying other doctrines that are biblical, it's gonna offend people. But my goal is not just to like be this like dramatic thing like, oh, I just want to cause all these people to be mad at me. Like I don't want to do that. And even though like I am a people pleaser and that's not my main goal, like it's good almost that I do have that in my nature, because then I'm not just like all about starting drama and causing all these problems. Like that's not biblical. The Bible says like don't stir up dissension and don't, you know, live a quiet life. It says like don't stir up trouble and just live a gentle, quiet life, so that people can see Jesus in you and see the holiness that God is doing in you as his image bearer. So all of that to say, I want to end with an analogy, and hopefully this will give you, I don't know, the peace that it's given me, because this has literally been such a game changer for me. And this analogy kind of comes from the beautiful Eulogy song that I'll link below for you, but it kind of made it my own a little bit to kind of go with this. So think of people as a kite, okay? And I am a kite, and I think to myself, I want to fly without any more boundaries or anything that anyone can put on me. Like I want to cut myself off from the string and go be on my own. I want to fly wherever I want to go, do my own thing, do whatever I want to do. I don't want anyone else to be in control of me or have authority over me. Like I need to cut myself off from the string, okay? So I cut myself off, and then I start flying, and I'm free, and I'm out there, and I'm like, yes, this is what I've always wanted, because I'm on my own and no one's telling me what to do. But then I realized that I'm actually starting to fall to the ground. I'm actually crashing down at this point, and I hit the ground, and that's it. It's over. My kite is so broken, I cannot, you know, fly again, because that was it. I had my chance. I thought this was it, and I was gonna fly freely, and it actually ended up that I came crashing down, and it didn't work. Okay, that's kind of like the vine and the branches in the Bible, where we are the branches and Jesus is the vine, and apart from the vine we can do nothing. We cannot grow, we cannot bear fruit, because we need the nutrients and everything in the vine that it can only give us. I cannot literally, I cannot live apart from the vine. It's not sustainable to do that. Just like the kite it's not sustainable for the kite to fly without the string and being attached to that string. You need to have that relationship, so to speak, with the string and the kite. And you need to have that relationship, so to speak, with the branch and the vine. Like, they have to be together. There has to be unity there, because the kite was not created to fly by itself. It was created to be attached to the string. The branch was not created to be on its own and grow on its own. In fact, it cannot grow on its own except from the vine. Like, when it's with the vine, it can grow and it can thrive and it can bear fruit. Just like that, humans were not created to just be on our own. And I know Christians can get a bad rep because people think we're boring, or, like, that's what I was saying, is when people are always like, I can't believe Becca's not having sex before marriage, that's so dumb, blah, blah, blah. And like, everyone goes off about that, because I know that God created sex to be within the boundaries of marriage, and that's good, because that's how God created it. Like, God is my creator, therefore he knows what's best for me, and with everything, including sex. Yes, God cares about who you sleep with. People say that to me all the time. They're like, God doesn't care who you sleep with. And the fact that you think that he cares about things like that, that's just ridiculous. There's more, better things that God is worried about. It's like, people have a misunderstanding. Like, God is omniscient, and yes, God is literally knows everything in the entire world that's going on right now, and knows everything that's going to happen and everything that has happened. Like, yes, he is all powerful, all knowing, but he's also very personal, and he does care about everything that I do, and even my choices of what comes to like waiting until marriage to have sex and then having sex after marriage, because that's how God created it. Like, that was his intention with it. He cares about that. He cares about what I'm doing in everything. He cares about my thoughts and my heart, and he cares about what I care about. And he cares so deeply that, yes, every action that we do matters to him, because he is personal. So going back now, people were created by God, and so therefore he knows what's best for us. So yes, Christians can get a bad rep of we're boring, and all we do is follow the rules, and these rules that God made, and the Bible is just a book of rules. No, it's not. It's actually such a beautiful story of God creating the world, and we wrecked it, but God is saving it through his son Jesus dying for us on the cross, and he's not even finished yet. Like, he is going to redeem us and restore everything and like make it all right. And that's not made right according to what we think is good and right. It's according to what he knows is best and what is right and wise according to him, because he is all knowing and all powerful and all those things. Okay, so to shorten that down, God created the world, we wrecked it, people ruined it, and God is saving it through his son Jesus on the cross. God came down to rescue us, and he's writing this beautiful story of redemption for us, and we're seeing it unfold daily as his kingdom is coming to this earth, and one day he's going to make a new heaven and a new earth. I did not make it shorter. I literally probably made it longer that time. That's my life. Anyway, God's story is what the Bible's about. It's this whole story of his redemption, of how we were created to have a relationship of harmony with him, but we wrecked it. Our sin created disharmony so that we cannot have that relationship, but God came down to save us by dying for us on the cross, and only through him can we have a restored relationship. Only through him can we live the life that we were intended to live. My purpose as a human being is an image bearer, right? Carrying the likeness, in other words, of God. Literally, I am made in his image. You are made in his image. Like, my job, my purpose, I was created to have a relationship of harmony with him. And because he created me, he knows it's best for me. So yes, am I under his authority? Yes. Do I care more about what he thinks than what I think is best? Yes. And that is all good. And in fact, just like the kite, how it can't fly except for when it's attached to the string, and when a branch, it cannot grow except for with the vine. Just like that, I can only live in true freedom and actually experience what I was created for when I'm having that relationship of harmony with God. Otherwise, our lives are going to be completely consumed of people pleasing and caring only about what other people think, and then literally living this life of just always caring, like, oh, I'm gonna offend people if I do that, what are they gonna think if I do that, and then just having this like constant anxiety. You have true peace with Jesus, because it's like, I bow to God, I don't bow to man. I'm gonna stand before God one day, not man. And so therefore, I can teach you as a Christian YouTuber, or whatever you want to call this, and having this platform, or whatever you want to call that, I can teach you without fear of what are they gonna think. because I just care about what God thinks most of all. And oh, is this going to offend people? No, I care most about offending God. Is this going to grieve other people? Am I going to make them upset? No, am I going to grieve God? Those things, it's like, that's it. That's the end of the story for me. Like, that's why I can sit here confidently and say to you what I'm saying to you right now. If you ever watch some of my old videos, which are very embarrassing, you see a way more like insecure, shy little like Ginger who had the Bible but was too afraid to say it to you because I didn't even believe it myself. And I was so much about what other people would think if I said that, or oh, what are they, you know. Now I'm truly free. I can fly like a kite. I can grow and thrive like the branch that's attached to the vine, because I am within his authority, under what he thinks is best. And yes, I live under his boundaries, which they are not burdensome, the Bible says, although it might seem like it if you aren't a Christian, because you've never actually opened up the Bible yourself. You just heard other people say like, oh, the Bible is just a book of rules, oh, it's too irrelevant, it's too old. Truth is not only true or more true if it's newer. In fact, it's often the opposite, okay? The Bible's been around for so long, and you should look into the history of it and all the evidence. Oh, it's so good, and I can't get into that right now, but don't just listen to what other people say when they're like, oh, the Bible's just a book of rules. No, it's not. It's this beautiful, beautiful story of redemption, God's story. And yes, there are rules in it, and yes, well, commands, I guess, is a better word, or more biblical word, but they're not burdensome. They actually help us to have true freedom, to fly in the way that we were created to fly, and to grow and thrive in the way we were created to grow and created to thrive, right? In a restored relationship with harmony, the way it was supposed to be before sin ruined it. So that's my 2 cents, and that's the biggest thing I've learned from being a Christian YouTuber. So I hope you learned something from that. I don't know. And yeah, just really thankful for all of you who have been so supportive and encouraging to me and helped me to grow. I mean, many of you have sent me books and sent me things that have really helped me over the years. Like someone, I'll never forget who, well, I don't know who sent it, but I'll never forget someone sending me the book, Will Our Generation Speak, which has changed my life in terms of evangelism, and people telling me about Tim Keller and Paul Washer in my life, and just here on YouTube, whoever uploads those videos, thank you. Whoever does all of that. I mean, it's just really, God's really used YouTube for me, and I'm thankful that he uses my channel to help you, and I'm just humbled, because I literally I don't understand why, but God chooses to use me, and I'm thankful for that. But my goal is not to make it about me and my name. It's all about Jesus and making his name known, and proclaiming the gospel to all nations, and pointing you to a Christ-centered, gospel-centered church. More recently, that's been so like heavy on my heart, is like pointing you to a church. Like, this is, I cannot be your everything. Like, I cannot be the person that you only go to and like listen to. Like, I hope that I'm pointing you to a church that's gonna pour into you and gonna be your authority and like help you with literally your day-to-day life, and pouring into you about things that you need help with, because I just cannot do that with everybody, obviously. So that's my story. Thanks for being a part of it, and for praying and just loving me well. And for the people out there who, I don't even know if anyone's watching at this point, but for those who also make videos, know that you are making a difference. And just remember like what our purpose is. It's not to get glory, but it's to give glory, because we were not created to get it. We were not created for this whole fame thing. We were created to give glory, not to get glory. So that's my last thing I'm gonna say. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and know that you're so loved and so beautiful.